You're going to have to listen to me because I cannot sing. I don't have a video. My artist director, Bissam Gewali, will do this next time. But it's always a pleasure to come and meet with you. And obviously the International Youth Day is a great opportunity to meet with a lot of the young people from Nepal, to take the pulse, right? To check where are we today in the country when it comes to issues that are very much in the heart of young people. And I have to say that this year, the theme that was adopted for the International Youth Day made me think a lot. Because safe spaces can mean many things to many people. And I thought it would be worth just interacting a little bit with you and brainstorm what exactly does it mean in the context of Nepal. But before I do this, it's not very fair because Saroj has introduced me and now you know my name, you know what I do, but I have no idea who you are. So we're not going to go one by one because that would take probably the whole day. But by just a show of hands, I would like to know one thing is where you come from. So can you, I'm going to go from province 1 to 7 and just show me, who is from where. All right? And you cannot be from two places at the same time, right? So don't cheat. So province 1, who came from all the way from the east of Nepal? One person. Whoa, that was a lonely traveler. Province 2. A few more. Okay. Province 3. Well, you're home, so, it's not... Okay, you didn't travel too far. That's good. Province 4, Pokhara, beautiful Phua Lake. Yes. Butual, Bairawa, Dang, Province 5. Good morning. And now the very courageous people coming all the way from Karnali. Where are you? Yes, there we go. And the cowboys and the cowgirls from Province 7, Dangadi. Whoa, that's very good. Excellent. Okay, so you really stood true, Saroj, bring everybody from all over. All right, very good. Well, welcome you all to Kathmandu. So let's just discuss a little bit safe space, because the first thing that came to my mind when I heard safe space was obviously an indication that we had made a lot of progress in the discourse around youth and youth empowerment. Why do I say this? Because maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, when we were hearing people talking about youth, I think what most often came was the sentence, youth is important because youth is our future. Everybody was saying this. Oh, we need to talk to youth. Youth is the future of this country, blah, blah, blah. And I was thinking to myself, yes, that's true. They're the future. But what about today? Right? Why are they just spectators in waiting for doing something in the future? I don't quite agree. I think youth are the future, but they are also present. They are the actors of today. And I don't think it is good enough to just say, we'll take care of them because later they will be important. I think you are important today. You represent half the country. You were very, very important last year because those of you who voted, you made or break the election. You are the majority voters just by the sheer number of who you are. So we moved from youth are the future of the nation to youth are very important today. And then the discourse became, we need to not only work for youth, but we need to work with youth. And then it was all about participation. Right? We need to include youth, we need to make them participate, we need to listen to them, etc., etc. So that was already progress. With safe space, I think we have reached the next level. Because by choosing this topic, we have acknowledged that saying we need you to participate, we need to include you is not good enough. Very often, we need to provide a space, a physical space, a virtual space, a digital space that is safe so that you feel comfortable coming out and participating, coming out and speaking up, coming out and sharing with elders, with decision makers, with peers, with brothers and sisters of the community, your views, your thoughts, your ideas. So this is, to me, a very progressive approach of saying, not only are the young people important today, let's not wait for the future, not only do we need to listen to them, to make them participate, to include them, but we also need to improve the environment, the space in which they do this, and make sure that this space is safe. Now, for Nepal, one could argue that, yes, of course, the space is safe. But then again, this is not a Nepal theme. It's a global theme. And here I would just want you to think 2 minutes of how lucky you are to live in a country that is at peace, to live in a country where you have elections, to live in a country where democracy, human rights, core values of the UN, but of humanity at large, are, to the largest extent, nothing is perfect, but to the largest extent, respected and protected. This is obviously not the case all around the world. And if you think of a young person from Syria, from Somalia, from Afghanistan, from the Rohingya community in Myanmar, from places in Latin America where gun violence is so high, then yes, safe space is a challenge, is a problem. So if security in the context of safe space is not exactly what is relevant for Nepal, then why is it still important? Well, what does safe space mean then in the context of Nepal? I'm going to give you very many different examples of what I think a safe space is. Think 2 years ago, when the earthquake was shaking everything around us. A safe space was an open space. It was a place where a lot of the young people who were the first responder, the first volunteers to help the community, brought together families, friends, communities in an open space so that they would not suffer the consequences of the aftershocks. A safe space, after the 2017 local election, can be a municipal council, a ward council, a provincial government, a provincial assembly, where young people have been elected and can contribute to decision-making that affects the lives of the community. A safe space can be an innovation lab where you are being given the tools, the encouragement, the guidance from professionals so that your creativity can be transformed into entrepreneurship. A safe space can be the Anupam Foodland and Banquet for the last 3 days, where Saroj and his team and all the partners to this 3-day event have provided a safe space for you to brainstorm, to think, to discuss, to interact. So it doesn't really matter how we define a safe space. What matters, I think, to me, is that we acknowledged, as a global community, that the empowerment of young people is, one, not only timely and urgent, two, not only about working for them, but working with them, but three, that we also provide a quality environment so that we can really not only make you work very hard and comfortably, but ultimately we can also take the output of this work, the results that you produce, seriously. And this leads me to my second point, which is really to congratulate Saroj and the team of the Nepal Youth Council for how they have conceptualized this 3-day event. We've been partnering with them for the past 3-4 years now, and every year I see an improvement in how they conceptualize it. Because it's not only about getting together, meeting, discussing, raising issues. It's not only about challenging ourselves on topics like we just heard about the Constitution and all the topics you've been discussing first and second day. But what you are about to conclude today is why this event is so important. And this is the homework that you are going to do and conclude today with the action plans. And this is why I wanted to know what province you come from. I've been lucky enough to meet now all the chief ministers, and I've been always raising with them the issue of how inclusive he, unfortunately there's no she yet, but how he as a chief minister is of taking into account the voice and the needs of young people in his province. Now, of course, they always say, yes, I'm very for and I'm very open, etc., etc. But I think what you will prepare today with the action plans for the provinces, for the chief ministers, and the way that this is going to come, to fruition, the way that the Nepal Youth Council and all of us on your behalf will make sure that the chief ministers not only receive the action plan, but take it seriously. This, to me, is a demonstration of the power that you have inside you, the commitment that you have as young people, young actors, young change makers of this country, and the importance of creating those safe spaces so that you can really put your focus on the issues and not on the environment in which we work. So for those reasons, I really want to congratulate you to have come all the way here to Kathmandu, dedicate 3 days of, I'm sure, your busy days and your busy life outside out there, whether you are studying, whether you are already at work, because what you're going to do today, and did less on the basis of yesterday and the day before, is extremely important. And what I want to commit UNDP in doing, and doing it with Saroj, is making sure that those action plans just don't stay on a piece of paper, that we find the mechanism in this country, in the federal states of Nepal now, that has the very big advantage of allowing you to become closer to decision makers, making sure that there is a budget allocated to this action plan, making sure that there is a political commitment in taking some of the issues and transforming them into a reality. But I won't be able to do this alone. We all need to do this, and you also have a role, because after conceiving your vision for the province, you have another very important role as a citizen, and that's holding people accountable to what they have promised. And this is where, again, safe spaces for youth organizations, youth movements is so important. You need to feel comfortable being able to go to the provincial assembly or the ward municipality council and say, you had said that you would do this. We had given you an action plan and you had promised you would take it seriously. Where is the results? You have been elected. I have given you my trust. Where is your payback to me in terms of policies, in terms of institutions, in terms of tools made available to young people for them to fulfill their aspirations, to fulfill their dreams? So what I'm saying is that today is just the beginning. It's probably not even the beginning, because all of you are usually young activists who have already done plenty of things back home. But it's another step at really reaching out to those decision makers, making use of the fact that, yes, Nepal is safe, yes, Nepal is a democracy, yes, we have vibrant youth organizations, and increasingly we have decision makers, elected decision makers, that are opened and that have promised and are, in most cases, true to their promise of really engaging with you. I think we live in a very exciting time. I've been now in Nepal for 3.5 years, and you have no idea the progress I have seen in this attitude of decision makers at really looking not ahead of them, but backwards at all those young people that are behind them, supporting them in one way or another, or criticizing them from one way or another. But now they are taking you very, very seriously. And I think that's a very good sign, and a very healthy sign for Nepal, which makes me very optimistic about the future of this country. So again, Saraj, where are you? I don't see you anymore, but you're around, and your team is here. Congratulations to you and to the Nepal Youth Council for pulling up and putting this very useful and creative way of putting you at work, the young generation of the country. Thanks to all the partners who've made this possible, and most important, thanks to all of you for coming here, doing it. You will see us around, so thank you very much. Good luck for this last day, and all our encouragements are with you. Dhanibat and namaskar. Thank you.
Thank you once again, Mr. Renaud Meyer, Country Director of UNDP Nepal. I would like to request Mr. Saroj Bania, President of Nepal Youth Council, for handover token of love to Mr. Renaud Meyer.